Welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Rachel Roller. Pressure mounting in Washington as the Floyd family calls for movement on a police reform bill while visiting the president and vice president in our nation's capital to remember the life of George Floyd. Joining us now to discuss, the CEO of the Guardian Angels and a candidate for mayor of New York, Curtis Sliwa. Also, former Milwaukee Sheriff David Clarke. Welcome back to Wake Up America to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Curtis, I'll start with you. Last year on this day, protests broke out all across the country over the death of George Floyd. What do you think we have seen in terms of policing in the country since last year?
Well, how's it worked out? Homicides have skyrocketed across America. Violent crimes have skyrocketed. The police have been rendered impotent. And now yesterday we saw at the White House a continued attempt to strip police officers, no matter where they are, of qualified immunity, the protection that they rightfully deserve, as all of our elected officials have, judges, prosecutors. I mean, we look at all the mistakes that officials have made over the years that have cost people's lives, and yet they have qualified immunity. Why wouldn't we continue to give police officers qualified immunity? And why should they go out there and take the extraordinary risks that they do on a regular basis if we, the people, are not going to back them up when they make life and death decisions that we don't want to make, that we empower them to make and the politicians won't make?
Okay, so David, Curtis, they're touching a bit on the crime rates over the past year. There are nearly 200 less active police officers in Minneapolis compared to last year. Do you think this is a cause for concern in other cities in our country as well? We're seeing the number of people applying to be officers dropping across the country.
Well, it's beyond a cause for concern. 19 of those that have been shot in Minneapolis so far this year have been children. And there's no, there seems to be no outrage or no sense of urgency about stemming that. Look, there's nothing to mark about the life of George Floyd. There's nothing to celebrate in America. Everything that George Floyd did throughout his life it contributed to his demise. Look, we have crime, we have violence, we have drug use, questionable lifestyle choices by young people. That's what it marks really for me. And then you look at the event yesterday, the memorial gunshots bring out how, what irony around the life of George Floyd, and then for the president of the United States to host his family at the White House is a slap in the face to every law-abiding black person in America who goes through life leading it the right way. It's a slap in the face to law enforcement officers. 2020 was the deadliest year for line of duty deaths for law enforcement officers. Where's their anniversary? Where's their celebration?
Talking a bit about what you just touched on, David, I believe you're talking about the 30 shots that were fired in what's called George Floyd Square yesterday, as people did remember him on that one-year anniversary. But Curtis, we have seen controversial police tactics over the past year, like the death of George Floyd, or talking about children in Chicago with Adam Toledo, who I believe would be 14. Now, activists are saying there's still a long way to go in terms of policing in this country. But what are your thoughts on that opinion in regards to how we saw the Defund the Police movement play out? We saw now people refunding police because that didn't work out. So how do we move forward?
Well, you need a balance. Obviously, you have to refund the police, and we need to even hire more police because these violent crime rates and murders have skyrocketed significantly. And a lot of them are by gangbangers. These are men, sometimes young women, who are in constant combat with one another and the citizens. And if you don't have more trained professional police officers to go out there and preemptively stop their attacks against one another and the citizens, you're just going to have more and more. Now, are there needed reforms with the police? There needed reforms in the political system. There needed reforms in the healthcare system. Of course, you continue to reform the system, but you don't render police officers impotent so that they're reactive and not proactive. We have to have proactive police officers there who are risking their lives to defend us each and every day they go out on the job.
Okay, let's take a quick listen. The Floyd family attorney Ben Crump spoke about passing police reform yesterday.
We have to respect the spilled blood that's on this legislation. It must be meaningful, and we can do this together. This is an American issue. This isn't a police issue or a civil rights issue. We have to look at this as a national issue that we have avoided dealing with far too long. I think, Chris, CK, it has been 57 years since we've had meaningful legislation.
right, David, I'll give the last question to you. Your thoughts on Trump's remarks?
Shameful. Look, we don't need any police reform. We need ghetto reform in the United States. We need a change in culture. We got a lot of cultural dysfunction, a lot of cultural rot. The good law-abiding black people that live in the American ghetto need to start to shun this behavior that's being exhibited by many of our young people. We keep working on the wrong things. We do not need police reform in the United States. We need ghetto reform.
All right, Curtis Sliwa and Sheriff David Clarke, thank you for sharing your insight this morning.
You're welcome.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.